let's step back a second and start, since we're talking about essentially what's happening right now. If you were to look back on 2022, let's take FTX off the table as you have. By and large, was it a year in which there wasn't as much widespread carnage as we might think at this point?
Well, when we're talking about VC investment in a space, it's hard to sort of measure carnage because they are thinking on the 5, 7, and 10 year
long-term investors,
horizons. So the data that we're really looking at is just the investment made. 2022, I think if you take FTX off the table and you compare it to past years, it was a slightly above average year.
Let's talk about where we are right now. We're in January of 2023. What is the landscape looking like? You've just spoken to a lot of VCs, both, I'm sure, crypto VCs and others. What are they saying? Is there optimism, or is there sort of like a wait and see?
I was expecting a lot of pessimism. I'm working on an article right now that resulted in me getting on the phone with a lot of VCs and trying to get the lay of the land out there. And I kind of forgot that they're thinking on the 5 and 10 year time horizons. They've seen, many of them have seen bear markets and bull markets for a decade plus in the crypto space. They are concerned with what's going on, but they do not see it as reflective of the technology itself so much as good old-fashioned fraud and bad management. So I was really surprised to hear a sort of like reevaluation of their portfolios and how much they're going to allocate. So one VC in particular had started off 2022 with the goal of investing 20% of their $700 million AUM in crypto. Around the time when the Terra Luna collapse happened, a $40 billion evaporation of value, they sent out a letter to their LPs basically telling them...
This was early last year.
Early last year. We're capping it at 10%. Basically, they took 10% of the AUM they were planning on investing off the table.
That's called today's hero, I think.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it was smart. But what's fascinating is the collapse that inspired that, followed by another collapse, another collapse, and another collapse, actually got this VC excited about the industry. This VC is now planning on putting back the 10% that it took off the table, and is planning to reinvest into 2023.
What would you be investing in right now? Because give us a sense of, when you're investing in, say, a crypto startup, or are there particular areas or types, or is it there's so many cryptocurrencies out there? I feel like that sometimes muddies our perception.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we're kind of getting past what are called layer 1 investments, which is a fancy way of saying new blockchains altogether. I think there's a lot of skepticism in the VC community of teams that are claiming to build a better blockchain, especially because blockchain technology is open source and it's constantly evolving. The teams that already exist that have raised tens of billions of dollars total can simply evolve their existing project into a better blockchain. So we're not going to be seeing very many investments in the new better blockchain. But what I do think you're going to see are what they call layer 2 solutions, which are we'll call them like a meta blockchain that sits on top of the layer 1 solution.
So the foundation is set, and this is what do you do with it, basically?
Well,
like
so there's actually a layer between that.
Okay.
So no, SaaS is actually a good comparison, I think. So software as a service. These are like one of the most famous ones is Bitcoin is a notoriously slow blockchain. It closes about every 10 minutes. And I think last I looked, it was doing about 7 transactions per second. That is not enough for a global financial infrastructure. So a layer 2 solution called Lightning was built to go on top of it. It still integrates directly with the Bitcoin blockchain, but it settles in real time and it can handle much, much higher transaction volumes. Now, you can do all kinds of different stuff with these layer 2 solutions. You can have layer 2 solutions with built-in community building software. You can have layer 2 solutions that integrate the founding blocks of companies. And these blockchains, the layer 1 blockchains, are now seeing investment in layer 2 solutions that are sort of like moving problems that entire groups of people have into the protocol layer so that everybody can share in the benefits.
So what kind